Oh, yeah, off to see the wizard. No, I mean, I'm making a video. Yeah, I still do the walk and talks, I think, because I have to walk anyway. I'm going to start running more, so yeah, I won't have time. So maybe I'll stop, but who knows? We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to try to make some quick videos. Like quick pet the cat video. Yes, yes, little kitty. Yes. Oh, he's going to get cranky any second now. Yes. Anyway, she has to, she's kind of living like an orphan. She has to stay in the other backyard. Anyway, yeah, eventually there'll be tenants in there. Yuck. Anyway, get this stuff cleaned up. Anyway, I won't even start mumbling about all the shit I have to do. It really is ludicrous, the amount. Anyway, I'm talking about, waste time making videos. Anyway, so I wanted to make these question kind of videos because, the commenters never deal with the subject of videos. They always seem to just raise some other bullshit, and it's sort of irritating that, they're not obligated. So I guess I'm just going to make this a kind of a question video. And so this one's going to be on physics, so you can ignore it if you're not interested in such. And there's no point if you don't know anything about quantum mechanics and physics to respond or comment. Because I just want the people who claim the magic to explain why what I'm saying is not correct. So the two-slit experiment kind of depends on not having a gun that can fire straight. So that's the first conditional of the experiment. If you shoot a gun that you can aim, the phenomenon doesn't take place. There is no interference pattern. There's no real explanation for why this is true. It's never provided that I've heard anyway. Because you're not interfering in any place in the experiment. You're just knowing that you shot the bullet through the right or left slit because you know from experience that your aim is good. And so if you shoot 100 times, it goes through the left slit, and 100 times it goes through the right slit, your gun works. You can aim it, and you can shoot the photons. So that's not how the experiment's done. It's not even done with, say, electrons that can be aimed very easily, almost like a TV scan lines. Like you could still have a pattern that was all-encompassing, and that you shot electrons at all positions, and you still would not know which firing was going where exactly, but you would know proportionally that a certain percentage were going to go through the right and a certain percentage were going to go through the left. Absolutely. You would know that absolutely. And somehow now the experiment doesn't work. And I've always argued that the reason for this is because the phenomenon of the interference pattern wasn't created at the two slits. It was created when they artificially refocused the non-focused beam. So they're basically shooting erratically and then using a focus, a lens, to refocus the light. And that lens, not being a real lens, but just being a hole with refractable edges, is just refracting the light and doing so in that typical standard pattern of circular bars that takes place when you reflect light, because depending how close the light encounters the edge of the physical material, it will deflect more or less, and it does so in certain patterns that almost reflect the orbits of electrons. Not coincidentally, wink wink. Anyway, this question is going longer than I wanted it to be. But the basic question is why doesn't the two-slit experiment work if I aim the gun? Shouldn't it still work? I mean, you're claiming the photon knows it came out of an aimed gun? There's no instrumentality interfering. The photon is there's nothing changed except the fact that you aimed it. Why doesn't that work? You're not collapsing anything by aiming. And I'm arguing you're not going to come up with a rational argument. And the phenomenon, the interference pattern, is in fact just a filtered pattern, because you, in fact, when you do this two-slit experiment, the classic method, you basically diffract the photon twice. Once at the focus, and then again as it goes through the slit. And that's why you have a filtered pattern, is because you have filtered through diffraction and reflection, whatever you want to call it, the photon in its path twice. You've changed its direction twice. And that's why you have a filtered result. Not a interference pattern, a filtered pattern. And so I think that's enough of a video. So explanations, please. You arrogant, crazy, spiritual quantumizers. You ought to come up with a word for you loonies who think quantum gives us special powers. Yeah, crazy fuck probably is suitable. Anyway, we'll call that a video. Maybe I'll make other question videos. And I'll end up being longer than my regular videos. Alright, that's enough.